Fala, meus amigos! Fala, minhas amigas! Sejam muito bem-vindos e muito bem-vindas a mais uma entrevista aqui do Ibagenscast. Quem fala aqui, como sempre, é o Manu. E antes da gente começar a trocar uma ideia com o nosso ilustre convidado, eu peço para que você se inscreva no canal, ative as notificações, deixe o like já adiantado, nos siga nas redes sociais. Se quiser e puder contribuir com o meu trabalho via Pix, considere se tornar membro do Ibagenscast. Nosso convidado, ele é uma lenda do heavy metal, tem uma história muito grande na cena finlandesa, chegou ao mainstream com Nightwish e agora está fazendo uma turnê aqui no Brasil com a Tarja, sua antiga companheira de banda. Eu tô falando do Marko Hietala. Marko, it's very nice to have you here. How are you doing, man?
Thank you, man. It's very nice to be back in Sao Paulo and all, but I think we're going to be doing some rocking tonight.
Oh, yeah. That would be great. Is it Marko Hietala or Marko Hietala?
More like straightforward Hietala.
Hietala. Okay, fine.
Yes.
All right. Marko, my first question is, when I think of Finland, I can remember tons of heavy metal artists, such as yourself, Tarja, Nightwish, Stratovarius, Sonata Arctica, Children of Bottom. Now we have Battle Beast that is doing big noise, and the list goes on. Why do you think heavy metal is so popular in Finland?
Of course, we've been theorizing about this quite a lot, that maybe it's the cold weather and the black winter, black and cold winter, black and white with the ice and snow, of course, but the darkness is very present and all that. So it does build up a certain kind of gallows humor, like a graveyard humor that a lot of Finnish have. And then I don't know, at least to me, heavy metal has also been it has also its kind of its dark humor side as well. So with that way, it connects to me, at least as a Finn, very well, and probably to quite a lot of other guys too. But then with the Finland, we got to remember that we got only like 6 million people in the whole country. And for instance, I'm here in the city where there's about the double of that amount of people already. So as a genre, the heavy metal, it also might have become big because it became a part of the national culture in a way. And I'm there already from the pioneering generation of that stuff. Yeah. And I did see how a lot of like younger guys started taking more and more like influences from outside of Finland and from the older guys like me, how to do playing or singing and all that. So in a way it snowballed and became big. And it is still big, not like its prime in 2000s and something like that, but it's still strong. And what I see happening is that, of course, with all the musical genres, is that the best ones live on. We still have the old jazz and old 50s rockers and all that, and the best bands and best genres, best of the stuff will live on. And at the moment, I think with the heavy metal, we're at this filtering, the whole genre got saturated with a lot of bands that were kind of an inbred versions of each other. And when the musical genre starts to inbreed and just take influences within itself, it will stagnate. So in order to keep the good thing running, you got to take some influences and ideas and all that from anywhere. Because no genre or musical style or anything benefits by having strict rules, especially if it's rock music. I mean, the whole rock thing started out as a rebellious thing.
Yeah.
And therefore, any possible rules about musical theory, any possible rules about wearing a black t-shirt, I will put on a pink one. And because the rebellion is essential in rock.
All right. When I mention artists from Finland, of course I mention you. You have a great history with bands, and also you have your solo career. Recently, in a tour with Annika van Giersbergen, you said that you would release your new solo album this year. So what can you say about this upcoming record?
I can say that it's going to be released, but we ran into scheduling troubles. So we got some stuff, single stuff, and that, something like that coming up already this year, and some of it is probably already this spring. But the album itself is most likely going to be going on until next year release.
All right.
Probably early next year. That is what I've heard last. Because yeah, I've been flooded with all kinds of different works. I've been in the process of doing these tours, finishing the album, doing a lot of interviews, traveling. Also, there is some TV stuff that I've been asked to participate, which will take me flying back forth in Spain and from Spain and Finland and all that. And I've already done some of that. So yeah, it's a pretty messy time. But all the things that are going on at the same time will aim for some good things to happen, like releasing some proper music and move people or entertain them whichever way you want.
Great. I'm curious to know about your songwriting process. Do you write music more as a singer or as a bass player?
I think both, depending on a little bit of a song, because I come up with things just by singing some melodies, and then I already have an idea how the chord progression goes in my head, and I try those out. But I also sometimes come up with just guitar or bass riffs or acoustic guitar pickings and things like that, which will some of it eventually always ends up in a song. And that's kind of the way that I always wanted it to be, that I don't put myself into a certain habit of making a song, because again, it's a chain that if you get too used to your crutches, you will use them always. So to be open to an inspiration about anything, anywhere, is like my key to this thing. And for instance, oftentimes I write or finish lyrics sitting in the airplane. It's kind of a wasteful time where you have nothing to do and you're just kind of waiting to get out and be there where you were supposed to be to do something worthwhile. So airplane is a good place to dig out your file of different slogans and sentences and ideas of songs and look through them and I got some more ideas for that one, and then you just write them down. And music thing is that I have at home, I do have like a bass and a couple of acoustics and electric guitars and such right there in reach of my hand, in order to be, when I get an idea, I can try it out.
All right, great. Well, you're about to hit the stage with Tarja Turunen. This will be
Indeed.
the first in a series of shows that you will do here in Brazil. So, what can the fans expect from this tour?
Well, it's yeah, it's like almost 20 years since we parted ways. A lot of water has been running under those bridges, and to me, those times actually show themselves up as a not so much thing that came from the band, but with the information that was fed to the band and different people. I think it was more of a managerial turf war. And when we met with Tarja already 2017 on a Christmas tour there, we were talking about this, and the thing that I said was that after all the noise died down and everything, and you kind of started to live forward from there, you realized that one thing was still missing. You lost a friend. And that was in a nutshell, the conversation that we had there at 2017. And after that, we've been good with each other. And now that I was starting to, get up on my feet and doing shows again, and Tarja asked me last summer that if I would do the Phantom of the Opera together at the Swiss Festival. I was like, God damn it, that's exciting. Yes, I will do it. And that one thing leads to another, and now we're touring together. So in the evening, what the fans can expect, we're gonna be having a couple of course, we're gonna be having a couple of Nightwish hits. We wouldn't
Yeah.
get away alive without doing a few, but just in order to not to rely only on that, because it would be cheap and lame. We're also going to be having a couple of pieces from Tarja's solo thingies where there's been male vocals, so I will be doing guesting on those. And maybe even something surprising there, which you'll hear later on.
All right, all right. And you guys just played in Argentina recently. I was watching
Yes.
the videos, and I was really impressed to see how incredible your performance continues. Some songs were
Oh, thank
released
you.
20, 25 years ago and were no longer easy to sing back then, and today you and Tarja still hit the same notes with the same intensity. Is it something challenging for you? Do you do any special vocal preparation for the shows?
My vocal preparation has mostly been done during all the years. It's an ongoing process, especially when the guy gets a little bit older. You gotta take care of your physique, because singing is physical. First of all, you need to use your heart, your pump, to make some really oxygen-rich blood flow into a lot of parts of the body, and therefore you need the lungs and you need your vocal cords and all the muscles in here. And yeah, it's very physical job. So you gotta take care of yourself kind of constantly, at least a little bit. And before the show, I don't really have that much of a routine. I do make some vocal exercises mostly for a psychological confirmation that, okay, voice is there, I'm fine. Then I'm off to stage. Uh, yeah, so, and since I've been taking care of myself, it seems to me that, okay, some loud and high notes are still pretty okay to hit. They're not troublesome. But I do realize that I haven't used the screaming side in quite a while. So, for instance, that one piece in the middle of Wish I Had an Angel is something that I'm still kind of relearning how to squeeze the voice into the right kind of a thin pipe in order for it to be that raspy and high. But then again, that's just a small part of one song. I think there's going to be a lot of impressive singing and duetting. Anyways.
Great. Do you think this partnership with Tarja can go beyond the stage and become a project with recordings, maybe in studio album?
We've been talking about these things, for sure. And I don't know if we would go as far as not to do a whole album or anything. But we get a kind of how would I say, gentleman's and gentlewoman's agreement of appearing on each other's solo albums.
Oh,
Yep.
great. Marko, I'm 35 years old, and I started
Mm-hmm.
listening to heavy metal at the age of 10 in 1998. The first decade of the 2000s was the decade in which I grew up listening to heavy metal
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Today, I see some of my heroes getting together, reuniting to celebrate, for example, Halloween, which is a
Okay.
band that I listen to a lot. And now they are reuniting with Michael Kiske and Andy Darius, and
Yeah,
they released a great
both
album.
vocalists.
Yeah. Dream Theater is another band that I listen a lot. And now we see Mike Portnoy is back to the band and they are recording
Mm.
a new record. Would you consider reuniting with the classical Nightwish lineup, including Tarja, to celebrate some of the band's classical records or even recording new material?
Hmm. I would. I would consider it. But I think that the organization there would have to be looked very carefully into it, and some of it would have to be dismantled because the business side and how the people there work were one of the big reasons why I left. And in all the bands that I've been, I found out that I'm probably the most kind of courageous person there is, and therefore also I have the inner strength to be the most honest and most fair and most, the one who upholds the justice between the people and taking care of everyone most. And that is something that I saw the last years were lacking. So these kind of things would have to be taken care of. But I mean, it was a big part of my life. And I always backed up the music that we did because I love to do music that is versatile and ambitious with a lot of all kinds of atmospheres of all the world, from sensitive and soft into the big and pounding metal and all that. So musically, I have no regrets at all. I'm happy and proud to have been a part of it, but yeah, the organizational situation and the attitudes and who talks to who and about what, those are things that I would totally dismantle and make into a transparent situation.
You just mentioned that with all this time after Tarja's departure, you spoke and you say that you lost a friend. And do you feel the same with your old members of Nightwish?
Yeah, with some. We've also been in a bit of a, messaging contact. So I haven't lost all my friends. But during the years, quite a lot. This job is socially isolated.
Nice answer. Just to finish, Marko, what can the fans expect from Marko Hietala for the future?
Like I said, the second solo album in the works, now doing some shows. I guess it's pretty much, again, the same old, roundabout that I've jumped onto. Gonna release some music, gonna go on touring, gonna do some festivals, and when that gets a little bit easier, gonna start recording some new ideas, which is nice. Still haven't released the second solo album. I already have new lyrical stuff and new ideas about new songs. So if I just stay alive, there will be more.
Nice. Well, I think this is it, Marko. I really appreciate you for your time. Time is yours for you to give a last message to your Brazilian fans that are watching.
To my Brazilian fans who are watching this, it's nice to be back. I love Brazil. I'm married to a woman. Yeah, so let's rock again.
Okay, I'm gonna finish in Portuguese, okay?
All right.
Pessoal, essa foi a nossa entrevista com o Marko Hietala. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Se vocês gostaram, não se esqueçam de deixar o like, se inscrevam no canal, ative as notificações. Nos sigam nas redes sociais. Quem quiser e puder contribuir com o meu trabalho via Pix, considere se tornar membro do canal para ter benefícios por isso. Tranquilo? Aguardem as nossas próximas entrevistas. E é isso aí. Tchau.
Tchau, tchau.